have to wrap up. I had a couple upcoming projects that I want to ask you about. Mojave, how was that? Have you seen anything from it?
No, I haven't. That movie, well, first of all, that William Monahan is such a great writer, and that script is so good. But it's out there, and from what I gather, they are still trying to discover, figure out what it is. I don't know. I have a small
Do you know
part.
what it? Because I even read a quote from him that says I think he just said it is what it is, or something. And I'm like, all right, well, I don't know what your movie's about, but I'm all
he's
for it.
something. He's a character. He's got a lot of Clinton in him. Yeah, he is. He's really out there and so incredibly talented and so kind of hyper intelligent that it's a pace and an intensity that is not necessarily easy to keep up with, but it's a lot of fun to be around. And so my experience on that set, I had to play a small role that would his ideas about it would change, or all of a sudden he'd become so infused with passion about this just one line I had. You know what I mean? It was a very strange on-set experience, but really creative, and you felt like you were involved in something very, very special. And Oscar Isaac is the coolest actor, and Garrett Hedlund is really, really great in this movie. And it's just a really neat cast, and I really have high hopes for it, but I don't know what's going on with it. In fact, I've heard, because I'm friends with some of the producers and people that worked on it, obviously, and I do know that last I heard there are very different versions of the movie. Going back to the whole whatever script shooting and post production.
Different tonally?
Well, I'm not sure what it means, and I don't want to speak out of turn because it's not my place, but I've just heard that they have very different cuts. Whatever that means. But there are giant chunks or scenes where just speech, chunks of dialogue that are just Oscar Isaac, Garrett Hedlund at a table talking to each other for 10 pages, and they just both have long monologues pretty much. So you can only change that movie so much. It really is this sort of showdown between these two people, this sort of Hollywood director and this kind of, wanderer in the desert devil character. It's pretty intense. It's pretty awesome. And it's some of the greatest dialogue, really funny. Mark Wahlberg has a cameo in it. It should be an incredible, cool movie, and I was so proud to be a part of it. But you kind of have to forget about these things once they're over. And you just have to hope for the best.